Everyone is panicking right now about what AI is going to do to different industries, and the sports card market is no exception. A lot of people think AI is going to replace graders, replace dealers, and completely change how this whole space works. But there are two ways that I currently use AI to make my life easier when it comes to making money with sports cards, to make my life easier, not harder. In this video, I'm going to walk you through two specific ways I use AI that can be used inside the sports card market right now to create real opportunity for yourself. But for any of this to work, there's a missing ingredient that has nothing to do with AI itself, and that's what actually makes this all so powerful. There are a lot of bright, shiny distractions in the sports card world right now. There's tools coming out all the times, different platforms, AI this, software this, and a lot of people chasing what looks exciting this month. But there are a few tried and tested approaches, and the key is taking fundamentally what works and then plugging it into AI to strongly benefit. I'm going to show you what this is right here. One way is easier that anybody can do. Another way is a little bit harder that not a lot of people can do. So let's get into it. So the first way involves using ChatGPT. And I use this specific prompt to put into ChatGPT. And if you've never used ChatGPT before, then go Google it and you'll probably stop using Google and start using ChatGPT. But I'll put this in the description. I'll give this to you guys. And keep in mind, ChatGPT is not always 100% accurate. You're using it to get 80% of the way there. Okay. And it gives you different answers every time. But I've used this prompt a bunch and it works out pretty well. So what you'll do is you'll put this into ChatGPT and you can see it's very specific. So right now, while I'm speaking, I'm looking to buy NFL cards because it's January of 2026. And I'm just looking for it to give me a list of different players to buy. This is so good, especially if you don't follow a sport too much. A lot of people follow football, but maybe you don't follow baseball as much. Maybe you don't follow basketball as much. So let's let ChatGPT answer it. It's finding everyone who's under 25 years old. I put under 25 years old, the specific card types, etc. And then what I'm going to show you how to do is I'm going to take that list and then narrow it down further as to what cards to buy. Let's just click answer now. So it's going to give a list, and the list is going to be different every single time, to be straightforward with you, and not everyone's going to be on this list, but this just gives me a baseline of players to look at, okay? So I'll look at this list, and I'll say, okay, well, who do I think is a good opportunity to possibly buy right now? Well, I know that the problem with Shedeur Sanders and Jackson Dart, not a lot of their cards are out right now. JJ McCarthy, I think, is a potential goodbye. Bryce Young, as I'm speaking right now, just lost in the playoffs. He's another possible potential goodbye. But let's take JJ McCarthy. So let me pinpoint JJ McCarthy because I want to buy guys that are low right now that people really aren't on. He kind of came on a little bit at the end of last year. So let's take JJ McCarthy, and now we have a player. And now it's like, okay, want to start buying JJ McCarthy. Give me a list in order of his top card products to buy. So you're going to see what I do here. I look at the top products to buy, then I narrow it down by variation. It'll make sense. In order of liquidity. All liquidity means is how easy the card is to sell. So let's see what it gives me here. Here's a list of different to buy. So number one would be Prism. It's giving me Prism twice, then Donruss Optic. So it's giving me a bunch of different cards to buy. It's kind of jumbling the same product areas here. It's kind of giving me Optic and Prism. So let me tell it to reorder it. All I want is a list of products without any fluff. Example would be 1 Prism, 2 Optic. All I want is a clean list. This is what I'm saying. You have to kind of mess around with it. Give me 25 in total. So here's a bunch of different cards to buy. So you could kind of see why it keeps giving me Donruss and Optic and Prism is because these are the main cards to buy. So then what I'll do is I'll determine from this list, okay, Prism is obviously his most liquid card. And I just know that from being in cards. So I want to start buying Prism JJ McCarthy. Give me in a no fluff list of his most expensive Prism variation all the way down to his cheapest. So if this does it right, it should be the black 101 number 1 and then give me all the ones down all the way to his base Prism. And you can see what I'm doing here, right? I'm first finding the desirable player, then the product, and then the specific variation. Then you'll see me go into eBay. So here we go. Okay. This isn't a bad list. Didn't do exactly as I said. This should be, maybe I didn't, obviously didn't word it too correctly. Let's just start going to eBay and you can just start searching up each card. So what I would actually do is I would head to Market Movers in a situation like this and just look it up. McCarthy, red, Pulsar, Prism, PSA 10, green Pulsar here does $50. Raw does $7. This could be a card to bulk send to SGC. Card's a little bit too cheap for my liking, to be honest. We have silver here. No huddle, Carthy 2024. The reason why Market Movers is convenient, it'll just show you the raw sales and PSA 10 sales. So let's see. We have no huddle auto. PSA 10 did 700 in November. Raw did 100. So this is probably worth like 400 to 500. But this could be a potential good buy. Let's go over to eBay. JJ McCarthy, no huddle auto Prism, and let's just see if there's any of these out there. So there's this. There's this. There's this. There's a few not graded. There's this. So what I would do next before actually offering on these cards, I want to go to gemrate.com and see how easy or hard this card is to grade. So if you type in McCarthy, no huddle, Prism Auto, you'll see this is the card. There's been 144 of them graded and only 20% of them get a 10. So that may be a card I want to stay away from. I'd probably only buy a card like this if I was more experienced in the beginning days of buying and grading cards. I probably want to only go for cards that grade a 10 at least 40% of the time. But Prism's a little bit of a funny product. A lot of them are a little bit harder to grade, but you make more money. That's how I use ChatGPT to find cards to buy. So that's the first way I use AI. The second way I use AI, this is a little bit more complicated and this may not be possible for a lot of people. AI makes it very easy to code, okay? It's something called vibe coding. What we do is we have a custom built software. What this software does, it was all built by AI. None of it was actually hard coded by like a real software developer. And what it does, it pulls the data from eBay every single day, puts it on a spreadsheet, and shows you just what are the most profitable cards to buy. This is really how to use AI, because you could tell ChatGPT is a little wonky. ChatGPT gets you like 70 to 80% of the way there. This gets you like 95% of the way there. So I'm going to share my screen here. Can't show you too much of this. So you can see there's thousands of cards on here. It will show me cards that give me at least a 2 times multiplier on my money. So let's take a random card, okay? This card, Luka Doncic, I have no idea what this card is, but 2024 Mosaic, Razzle Dazzle. In the last 90 days, we're pulling the raw data from the past 90 days. It sells for $79 and a 10 sells for $212. That's pretty good. So let's look this up. Let's type in 2024 Mosaic, Razzle Dazzle. I guess this would be the card. There's 2 of them. There's this one, and then there's this one. Let's look at Card Ladder and actually see what it's been selling for recently, because our software pulls the last 90 days, 2024. So PSA 10 did 150 recently. So yeah, it's probably on its way down because it's not super desirable of a product. Let's try to find something rookie here. So Stephon Castle Prism Sublime sells for $60 raw, and a 10 sells for $161. A Drake May Stained Glass does $653 raw, and a 10 sells for $1757. Let's look that up. Let's type in Drake May Stained Glass 2024. So let's see the sales here. 2024 May Stained Glass. Recently, so he's doing pretty well recently. This 700 raw, 625 is a PSA 9. And what's the last PSA 10 sale? The last one, it's $1750. And let's go to GemRate to see what it actually sells for, or how hard it is to grade, excuse me. So Drake May, stained glass, 25% of them grade. It's a little bit on the harder end, but you do make a lot of money, right? You could buy it for like $600-700 and a 10 sells for $1,700. And you could see, there's a bunch of them here on eBay. The thing with this card is that it's hard to grade because the surface is foily, it's shiny, it gets scratched easy. That's how we use AI to build the software. This is what the software actually looks like. Those are the 2 different ways to use AI to make money in sports cards. The first way is using ChatGPT to kind of chunk down for it to show you the best players to buy, then for it to show you the best products to buy. Like I said, it does get you 70 to 80% of the way there. You do need to know a little bit about sports cards because sometimes it will spit out BS information, and you need to be able to detect that. Then number 2, the more complicated way, is using AI to build the software And what that software does is pulling data from eBay and it's just showing you the most profitable cards to buy. Because years ago this wasn't possible, right? You had to do the painstaking research of going in and looking at sales and manually doing it. But now you don't have to do that anymore thanks to AI, and AI is going to only advance more and more as time goes on. But hopefully this video helps you out. I'm going to put a link down below in the description to give you a PDF of exactly everything I'm talking about, just so it takes you in step-by-step order. It'll give you something actually tangible to have. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you folks in the next one.